What is up, my AoE Eagle Warriors? Risen Dragon here with our my first ever rated match on the Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition ladder. Please sit back, please enjoy, I'm going to walk you through it. We are against ROLAND KAISER, not sure what their elo is, but our elo is 1000, because that's where you start. We are playing the Britons, which are, I'm going to pause it here. Oh, we don't, there we go, we're going to pause it here. The Britons are a foot archer civilization. We're going to go over the tech tree at the very end, just so you can get a glimpse of what my thoughts were, you know, kind of going forward and whatnot, and my thoughts in general. But a foot archer civilization, we're actually going to go with an archer rush. We're going to try an archer rush in this game. Do we pull it off? I don't know. I'm going to leave that to the experts that see this. But we start off with 7 bills on food, and then we send one to wood, and we actually throw a bunch of them to wood. Now, the big metric that I want you to pay attention to in this game, the two metrics that I want you to pay attention to in this game are idle TC time and worker efficiency. Okay, and the big thing with worker efficiency is the amount of time workers have spent gathering, building, and repairing in the last minute divided by, you can see that there. The big thing that we look at is how efficient are they? And it's my understanding that maybe the higher the number, the better, if I'm not mistaken. But that's also the thing. The other thing, too, is idle TC time. We want to make sure that this is as low as possible. And in this game, I'm going to say right now, it is not. We really don't do a very good job. I don't do a good job in this game as far as keeping that low. But the big thing that really happens in this is the amount of resources collected. And there's some other things as well that play into it, especially with idle worker time. They use it as a worker efficiency. So let's get back into it. No more explaining. Let's get back into it. So I send a few to wood, and we got 6 on food. Now we're 3 wood. And the reason I'm doing this is because of the fact that I want to make sure that we've got enough resources so that when we hit feudal age, we can, as soon as we start hitting our archery ranges, getting those built, that we can churn them out as fast as possible. I'm going to switch to my... Still learning this. Alright, we're going to switch to... my Fog of War. So now I start bringing in the elephants. In some cases, I haven't quite gotten the... down the, you know, getting into the TC and then hitting the elephant. Haven't quite gotten there yet. Now notice our idle TC time at the moment is 12. Sorry to say, but this is going to go up. So, oh well, it happens. But notice too, his idle TC as well also goes up. The big thing we want to focus on too is, one thing that contributes to idle TC time is housing ourselves. And when we house ourselves, it stops every production. It stops, you know, unit production cold. Now here we do idle a little bit because their scout starts snooping around a little bit. I go with loon because I think I'm going up soon. But notice here too, I've got 5 on wood. I should not have that. Okay, I really should be redirecting that to something else. But the big thing is I want to have those resources ready to go. And here the idle, yeah, and here their worker efficiency. Yeah, 93%. I'm still trying to figure out what's good and what isn't here. But anyways, they go feudal. We go feudal around the same time, so that's not overly bad. But I do want to look at this. Ready? Look at the amount of resource. Now the amount of resources I've collected is a little bit higher, but watch what I do with it. You know, kind of like that whole thing is like, okay, cool. You have this tool. What are you gonna do? So here we wall. This is a little bit of a longer wall than I would like, but in here I probably should have only wall. I mean, I do wall here, but I think I should have, you know, scouted a little bit better, been more aware. I will say there were some jitters in this game. Not gonna lie, there's some jitters, and yeah, our efficiency starts to go down a little bit. He hits feudal. I hit feudal first. He hits feudal. And the big thing that I took away, I should have put my ranges like right in here. I should have ranged right here, but watch what I do. Alright, you'll see. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit. And then I'll go down to normal time. I will say also, too, fair warning, there was a lot of lag in this game. And it wasn't on my end. So, we start with wheelbarrow, too, because I do think that efficiency is important. And we start to go that right now. And again, there was a little bit of a miscue there. I forgot to hold down shift to send that villager elsewhere. Gates also, too, don't really, you know, pros don't do it. And now I start throwing down my archery ranges simply because I just needed the wood to do so. And I've already gone double bit axe research and all that. And we hit wheelbarrow a little bit faster than they did. So I think that, you know, that definitely helped us. It definitely helped us. And also, too, I probably should have put the gate here. That way they didn't go all the way there. Probably, whatever, but... And we start hitting farms as well. Do notice also as well, we have that extra military. Now, they have 26 vills. We have 25, so we're a vill behind. But, again, what we do with the resources is what kind of makes the difference. And I have to adjust my settings. That's annoying. I don't like that. I don't like the red ring there. I'll figure it out. If someone's got some tips, please let me know. Here we go with another lumber camp. Probably should have built that in. Probably going up too feudal. I probably should have built that. But the big thing that I'm still trying to figure out where I've got the advantage here, because they've got more food. They're doing a fast castle build, and I think that's where we had the advantage. We kind of played a slower eco game here. They played fast. They tried to get to castle fast, whereas we just are like, all right, we're gonna get aggressive-ish early. I say aggressive-ish because it does take me a while to queue up the things. Now here, we got those ran out, so now we go to you know, send them in various places. These two go to mine.
Ready.
These two build barracks, and we start churning out some military units. We get a market going. We get fletching. We have enough for fletching and padded archer armor, so we go with it. We go with it, and yeah, that's what we do. So, and here and also I noticed too, he's not pressuring me, so I'm not having to react to anything. And also too, I feel like I'm fairly walled off here. I feel like I'm okay. And we wall off some houses there to give us some more protection on this flank. But now we start pumping archers out, and we start pumping spears out, and keeping an eye on my house count. Obviously, they went loom real late. And we did not. So, and also they're going castle. So they went fast castle. We didn't. We focused a little bit more on military development and whatnot. Here I'm floating way too much wood. I really am. And I try to compensate for that soon, I think. I think I shift a bunch of them to, I think I shift a bunch of them over to farming. But the spears are there simply because, you know, in case we get rushed or anything like that, we can deal with it. So, got some archers here, and that's cool. So I gotta change that setting at some point, but that's okay. We'll work with it. So here, not the greatest of setups. I will say, you know, the farms are not going to be as efficient. There's definitely a loss of efficiency here, and I recognize that. Also, you know, some vills are idled a bit too much. And again, pardon the lag. He was lagging, not I. I swear. But now we start pumping out archers. And this is where I think the tide really starts to turn as far as, like, our advantage in the game, because they don't have a military. And I'm noticing this. They go castle. So the big thing also, too, is I have to scout better. because I think, like, my scout is way too idle here. I just kind of sent them all around the map. By the way, explore the map as much as you possibly can because of the fact that you know, you gain more points. And also, too, I noticed I've got some sheep here, so I start doing a little bit of recon with the sheep as well. Now, notice, too, I didn't push deer or anything like that. I didn't push any of the animals in this game, simply because of where I'm still learning the game. A lot of the pros say, hey, don't worry about pushing deer until you're much higher in elo, and I'm going to take that advice. So here I notice they've got some watchtowers. They've got some stone walls, which I think is interesting. So clearly they went more stone and more defensive than anything, whereas I'm utilizing my resources to produce army. They don't have an army. They are in castle, and they don't have an army. So now I start to say, okay, let's check this place out. I know that they've got towers here. I don't know what they've got over here, but let's check it out. Okay, and the thing that I notice here is that, one, you're going to see what they do. They start to, they concave in with their walls. Okay, and it takes a minute too. And by the way, ignore this. Ignore the idle TC time. Ignore that. Ignore it. Just ignore it, please. Okay, so here, I notice, okay, so this is where they're at. And, again, pardon the lag. But this is where I notice also, too, they've got a hill right here. Now, when you're above your opponent, you, like Anakin Skywalker, you get the high ground. You have the advantage. So if I can figure out a way to put something on this hill, I don't have enough for a castle. And by the way, I've clicked up the castle age. And I notice this, and I go, oh, okay, let's do this. Now, I'm trying to attack these villagers, and I'm trying to figure out why I can't get attacking them. I just don't think I had the range. But I start picking off their vills. Okay, and they're still collecting more resources, but they don't have a military at this point. And I go around. My archers got really confused. I was like, "Go home, archers. You're drunk." But anyway, so I start building some stables too because I'm like, "All right, well, the Britons can be one-dimensional, and you have to be really you have to be real careful with falling into the trap of producing too many archers." And I definitely think I got away with one here. I don't think my opponent quite knew how to counteract this. I really just felt like this was my game to lose, to be completely honest. And again, idle TC time. Ignore the idle TC time. Okay, I swear I've been at Imp in like 2.5 minutes against AI, but that's okay. Again, yeah, the nerves, the jitters, kind of got to me a little bit. But also, too, we're starting to build houses. We want to expand. They are at 50. They're at 42 vills. We're only at 38, but look at what we've got for military. Okay, we've got a lot of military, and we've got 4 queued up. And we've upgraded to crossbowman. We're upgraded to leather archer. We're going bodkin arrow. We are going to start humming right now. Now, we don't have enough stone to really do much of anything, but we do also have a second TC. Now, I'm going to turn off Fog of War. We also have a second TC that is up, and I've got them on gold. I do need to get more on wood, and that's kind of where we go. He has collected more resources than I have. Okay, do not get me wrong. He is there, but I'm now picking off his resources, and I'm attacking his resources. So now, this right here, I'm like, and here I just kind of am like, all right, we're just gonna go with it, right? Also, too, they take out one of my archers. That's the first kill they get. We're still at 3 kills for their res though, and also too, we killed a scout. But look at how much space I have with all these archers. Yeah, I can't do that. Okay, so look at all the space I have. Look at how much damage I'm going to be causing right in this little triangle here. Now it's not going to matter right now because we're all spread out, but now I start swinging in. Remember what I was saying earlier about the sight and hills. Now I bring a vill in, and I get a guard tower going. So this is... Also, too, look at this range. how much range I get out of these things. The Centurions come along. They're going to try to come around the back, but I notice, I notice, hey, that's what's happening. Now here, if they had gone and counterattacked me, I may not have been able to counteract that. Alright, but now, look at the damage they're going to face. Alright, look at the damage they're going to walk into, and this just starts to turn into absolute goriness. But also, too, I've taken out 7 of their eco kills. I have 7 eco kills to their 0. So I've affected their economy to the extent where now I'm 15 villagers up. I keep producing. Yeah, I've got a high TC time, but I've got 2 TCs. So I think that that's where another key thing. It's these little advantages that start, adding up. Notice they don't have any idle vill time. This is starting to turn ugly for Roland. And I do throw down another camp because I see, oh no, I've only got 24 wood. I need to start pumping out archers. And at one point I do utilize my market a few times. But we start to see that this is where the pressure here just really starts to add up. Could I have been a little more aggressive? Yeah, I definitely could have been. But again, your first rated game in 20 some odd years, I feel like I did pretty well. I really truly feel like I did really well. 29 crossbowmen, and 29 crossbowmen, 7 knights. We did start producing some knights just to mop up any infantry. I start to notice, okay, they've got a TC. And again, the big thing with the Britons as well is that I'm waiting here because this is the moment. It's coming up. But the Britons don't have a huge finishing thing, as they say GG. As I was gonna say, let's look at some of the stats here real quick. Let's see. And again, I'm still learning the interface as well. Let's see. We're going to return to the map. Let's see. Floating resources. This is a measure of how many resources a player has in their stockpile over time. We didn't float a ton of resource. We got a lot of value at the peak. And the worker efficiency was around 50%. And we just have to, spend time gathering, repairing, divide the total lifetime, those sorts of things. So yeah, let's go to the stats here real quick, and you'll see kind of where we got stuff. We got wheelbarrow before them. We got the double bit axe almost right away, which I thought was cool. We got loom in the Dark Age. They didn't get it till much later on. That's kind of inconsequential, but we really focused a lot on our upgrades. We really focused a lot on that. We got crossbowman up. We got the bodkin arrow in. We even got town watch in, and I even threw handcart in there for fun. They didn't really start upgrading until very much later, and I think that also could have influenced what they did. Military, we really just, we absolutely wrecked as far as military was concerned. We started off strong. We probably could have gone a little bit sooner with the archery ranges and whatnot. Where did they, it doesn't tell me where I built my stuff, but we had a high kill to death ratio, had a huge one there. And our tech tree also too. We researched more than they did. As far as economy was concerned, we collected a little bit more than them, but I think that we were a lot less, and we kept being efficient as we went on. So that was really cool as well. Society, they had a castle. Yeah, but here's the thing with castles, and I'm gonna throw a chess analogy out there too, because that's kind of also what I do. It's literally a part of my job as a teacher. I run the chess club, and also I'm a coach, and I've won several state championships, 6 to be exact, as teams are concerned. But I digress. Where I'm going with that is when I teach kids chess, it's like, cool, these are how much the pieces are worth, But if I'm about to be checkmated, my pieces are worth nothing because I'm about to lose the game, and you don't want to lose the game. So castles are good. Oh, don't get me wrong. They're absolutely amazing. They're a production building. They're a defensive building. But the thing is, they're only as good as you use them. And if we go back to the map, I'm going to return to the map here real quick. You go to where they were, and I'm going to take off Fog of War. By the way, I didn't even see the fact that they were about to put 2 castles up. But look where this castle is. This castle, I think, should be right here. That's what I would do. Okay, it's forward, it's defensive, but also it's on a hill, and I'm going to have a hard time getting around that. Defense, I really do think that Roland probably could have played a little bit better here. They have 2 siege workshops. Yeah, they started producing Scorps towards the end, but it really, by the time it got to that point, it really didn't matter because I was already, so far ahead. So ultimately, what did I learn from this game? Well, I learned that idle TC, we got to get that down. We got to get that down a little bit more. And again, I associate it with nerves. This was the first ladder game that I've played in over 20 years. And quite frankly, I think we kicked butt. I think we did really, really well. We got to get that down. Secondly, I do think I have to get a little more aggressive with building the ranges. I do have to manage my eco a little bit better. I also have to put the ranges in a bit more of a convenient spot. 'Cause my villa had to go all the way around to get that. I recognize I probably should have built it maybe right in here, put a gate here, that sort of thing. But I think we have the basics down. I really do. I think that we have we've got the chops. I really do think we've got what it takes to start doing really well in this game. Not going to post as far as videos are concerned, I'm not going to post every game that I play, but certainly I do want to start posting these, and I think my first 10 videos or so are going to be all Britons, and we're going to have playlists and stuff. I've got all these things in mind. But anyways, if you like what you saw, please please subscribe, please give me feedback. I want to get better at this game. I want to have fun. I had a lot of fun with this game. Thank you very much for your help. I greatly appreciate it. And until next time, my AoE Eagle Warriors, happy hunting. Okay, and now let's take a look at our tech tree. Because with the Britons, let's go over this. They are a foot archer civilization, so we want to be focused on our archery ranges. We want to get that up as soon as we possibly can. And admittedly, in that game, I probably didn't get it up as fast as I probably could, and I think probably one of the reasons why is I wanted to go multiple at the same time. So I think we just have to kind of build towards that. You do need a barracks before you can do that. And again, your barracks you want to build about 60% of the way up in your between dark and feudal. In your transition from dark to feudal, you want to build your barracks, if not sooner. And as far as the Britons are concerned, yes, they're a foot archer civilization. The foot archers gain a +1 range in castle and in imperial. They get another one for a +2 total. The skirms don't get anything. Our unique our unique unit is the longbowman. Our unique tech is the yeoman, which is, of course, researching the castle. We didn't get a castle up this time because we didn't really need to. We got aggressive early, and I think it really, we focused more on military than we did on development. So, also, Warwolf trebuchets do blast damage. Some fun stuff. So basically, my thought going into this game was, focus on the archery range, but also, too, stable. Because the big thing here is, if your opponent knows what they're up against, generally speaking, if I see them against the Britons, I'm going skirms right away. Because they're an anti-archery unit, and we are an archer civ. Okay, so we want to go skirms as soon as we can. Okay, we don't want to overthink it, but we want to get a good mix of archers and skirms going. I only got archers going because I was like, well, it doesn't look like they're producing a lot of military, so let's just go with archers. Let's just stick to our plan and go from there. Knights, stables. Generally speaking, we want to go produce some stable units so that we can go against the skirms because they are weak versus units at close range. Their barracks are actually pretty good as well. I mean, they're not terrible, but they don't, and they have all the upgrades. They have supplies, they have gambesons, they have the squires, they have the arson. But really, generally speaking, I just wanted to put the the spears in there for early defense. We can upgrade them to pikes as we go, and halberdiers eventually. So they've got all the upgrades that they need. Siege workshops. Again, not terrible, not the best, but again, we got some of these down, and it's good. But the blacksmith, this is where you really want to focus, okay? Notice I focused a lot on the archer stuff, the archer upgrades. I didn't even touch the infantry or the cav upgrades because it's like I'm not going to be producing a ton of units. Why am I going to waste resources doing that? So I felt like I was a very efficient as far as that was concerned. We didn't quite get to the university. By the way, don't get heated shot, okay? Heated shot does not make your arrows on fire. Ballistics and chemistry, those are the ones that set that give it that effect of fire, okay? So that is the one. Don't do heated shot unless you're dealing with like a water map because it's just ship damage, so don't do it. In the past, I've done treadmill crane simply because I like buildings faster. Again, efficiency is my game. As far as the castle is concerned, longbowmen, our unit there. Compare that with, compare their stats here with a 6 attack, 5 range, versus stuff like, say, let's go all the way back here. Let's go to Arbalester, which has a 5 range as well, but we can definitely make things incredibly long there. So in longbowmen, it goes up to 6. With the elite, so that is quite a big one there. The monasteries are not terrible. We don't get redemption, which is my favorite troll move. I love when I play monk civs, and I hope to get better with Aztecs because they're definitely the monk civ, and I played Aztecs quite a bit when I was in college, so that was a fun one to do. But they don't have terrible monasteries. They're good for backup and stuff. Nice defense at home, and as far as your eco stuff is concerned, when you're doing the market, these upgrades are guilds, I think, is real. No, yeah, coin introduces fee. Yeah, I think this really only affects the when you're playing team games and stuff like that. So that's my understanding of it. And wonders, we don't really construct those. But anyways, again, if you like what you saw, please subscribe. And as always, my AoE Eagle Warriors, happy hunting.